So, a fresh new week has arrived, and here on this channel, that means one thing and one thing only. Every weekend, I post an episode of this series we do called Your Take Not Mine, where I turn to you, the viewers, to give me your hottest NBA takes of the week based on what's going on at the time, and I then choose my favorite submissions and discuss them in a video. This week, we got some updates on popular storylines that were going around, more primetime matchups went down between some of the top teams, and the awards races have really started to heat up, especially the MVP race, so of course, we have plenty to discuss. In order to submit your takes, I make a community post on either the day of or the day before the video, similar to the one that you see on your screen now, so if you want a chance to be featured in a future episode, be sure to stay on the lookout for that. Before we start though, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, PrizePicks. As the 2023 NBA season continues on, PrizePicks is the best and easiest way to play daily fantasy to stay engaged on all of the excitement. All you have to do is pick between 2 and 6 players and the over or under on their projections, and you can win up to 20 times your original entry. Choose between points, rebounds, assists, three-pointers made, fantasy points, and more, plus you can even make mixed sports entries, so if you happen to be a fan of football, baseball, soccer, or anything else, PrizePicks has you covered. When you play at PrizePicks, you're also not competing against anyone else, it's simply you versus the projections available. For today's slate of games, I'm looking at playing Nikola Jokic to score over 25 points, Brandon Ingram to score over 25.5 points, and Russell Westbrook to dish out over 7.5 assists. By going down to the link in the description of this video and using promo code REFERENCE when you sign up, you also get a deposit match bonus of up to $100. Once again, thank you to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to the topic at hand. The first take we'll be discussing today comes to us from Tapin, and he says that the Lakers still have a chance to go all the way despite their up and down season because of the fact that there are no clear teams in the West separating themselves from the rest, so it's wide open for them. The Lakers' season seemed doomed just a few months ago, as they were sitting in 13th place without any reason for optimism, but when the trade deadline arrived, they got active and pretty much reshaped their roster, and now all of a sudden, they're one of the more scary teams in that huge conglomerate of middling Western Conference contenders. There are 9 teams that are within 3 games of each other in the standings, and with fewer than 10 games left in the regular season, we're going to be seeing a lot of craziness go down, as the standings could shake up every single night until the very end. The Lakers, as it currently stands, have a 500 record, sitting right in the middle at 8th place in the West, and they've won 7 of their last 10 games without LeBron James playing, which is extra promising because all of the players they traded for have been playing a huge role in helping them rebound from their bad start, plus a few guys that were already on the roster have been stepping their games up in LeBron's absence, which is exactly what you want to see as the playoffs approach, because if the role players are confident at this time, then they absolutely can compete with anyone. Austin Reaves has been absolutely sensational as of late, scoring about 22 points and dishing out about 7 assists per game over his last 5 games, putting a ton of pressure on defenses off the dribble, attacking the basket, and then either finishing strong, drawing fouls for easy free throws, or finding the open man when the defense collapses. Jared Vanderbilt's defense has been a breath of fresh air, D'Angelo Russell and Malik Beasley space the floor better than their prior options, and Anthony Davis looks confident again, so when LeBron James comes back, this team will not be an easy out for any of the higher-seeded Western Conference contenders they may face. The Grizzlies have been dealing with distractions off the floor, the Nuggets have been dropping some bad losses as of late, and the Kings' defense ranks near the bottom of the league despite their high-powered offense, so I don't think it's crazy to think that the Lakers could make some noise as long as LeBron gets back to full strength in time. The next take we'll be discussing today comes to us from Andrew, and he says that regardless of the Mavericks' defensive struggles and record lately, he still believes they have the firepower to break through and make some noise in the postseason. So this take is very similar to the first take that we just discussed, as they're applied to the same principles, just different teams. I expressed why I'm willing to keep an open mind to a Lakers run during the last discussion, but when it comes to the Mavericks, I have to admit that I'm much more hesitant moment to give them the same benefit of the doubt. While the Lakers are getting hot and playing their best basketball as the season approaches its end, the Mavericks are doing the exact opposite, and after a rough stretch of play, they now find themselves in 11th place in the West, which isn't even good enough for a play-in spot in the tournament at the current moment if the season were to end today. As I said before, though, the standings are so tight now, so every day things can change, and the Mavericks can easily rattle off a few wins and get back into the play-in range or better, but the fact that this is what their season has come down to in the first place is a big enough red flag as is. They went out and aggressively traded for Kyrie Irving at the trade deadline, which was a huge risk, but they were hoping that it would come with high rewards too, despite the fact that he's a free agent this summer and could leave them after only a few months. Since trading for him, the team has a losing record, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving have struggled to consistently find a rhythm playing off of each other, and most importantly, the defense has been a disaster. On the season as a whole, the Mavericks are the 23rd ranked defense, which is already in the bottom third of the league, but since the trade deadline, that rank falls all the way down to 26th, so they're going in the wrong direction. They've shown flashes of brilliant offensive potential, such as their game against the 76ers, where both Luka and Kyrie dropped 40 points in a win, but expecting nights like that to happen regularly is just unrealistic, and if they're not going to be able to get the stops when it matters, then their season may be in for a quick ending. And finally, the last take we'll be discussing today comes to us from Sebastian, and he says that the Cavaliers are about to make a run to the conference finals and surprise everyone this year. When it comes to the conversations surrounding the Eastern Conference race, most people debate about the Bucks, Celtics, and 76ers being the three that are going to end up battling it out, with the Cavaliers seen as a tier below them, but there are definitely a few big reasons to believe in their ability to turn some heads and surprise people in the playoffs. Over the last 10 years, 9 of the NBA champions in that span have ranked in the top 10 of the league, both offensively and defensively, and this year there are 3 teams that qualify for that: the Boston Celtics, the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I will say that last year's Warriors were the only champion in the last 10 years that didn't rank in the top 10 both ways, so it's not the end-all be-all in the postseason, but a well-balanced team tends to be the one that can get the job done on both ends of the floor and find the most success. And while everyone has the Celtics and 76ers in those conversations for good reason, I don't think you can write off the Cavaliers by any means. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland are as dangerous of a backcourt duo as it gets in the league today, and their frontcourt with Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen makes life hell for opponents to try to score inside. They can definitely create some bad matchups, and if they get hot, it wouldn't be crazy at all to see them win the East, even if I personally wouldn't go as far as to predict that. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think about the takes we discussed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.